welcome back to the weekly rundown. Let's get straight to the receivers. London, the receivers are a lot more fun than the running backs this week. I actually see some talent here, and I'm not going to go with Captain Obvious because I actually like some of the other plays this week. I like James Jones of the Packers. Now, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is possibly as bad as he's shown the last few weeks. And I think this Redskins Packers game is going to be competitive, and I think it's going to be high scoring. Therefore, someone in the Packers passing game has got to do something. Jones has had kind of a little nice run at the end of this season with three straight double digit fantasy point games, and he did catch 8 touchdowns this season. So, as you know, the Redskins have a few nice corners, Casey Hayward and Sam Shields. But according to Pro Football Focus, Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb should be seeing most of them, which means that James Jones gets the juicy matchup against Demarius Randall, and he's the red zone target. So, it only took him 4 catches last week for 100 yards. I think he could do something similar this week, and I also think he could find the end zone. So I think he possesses a lot of upside for $8,000. And I'm going to go with Jermaine Kearse as well. This is a guy who's just way underpriced to me because people love Doug Baldwin. They love the potential of a young, rookie Tyler Lockett. But Tyler Lockett finished the game on 2 quiet games while Jermaine Kearse scored in each of those games. I mean, his last 4 games, he caught 7 passes, then he caught 3 for a touchdown, then he caught 3 for a touchdown. So he's clearly part of this passing game. The thing that scares me a little is Marshawn Lynch is coming back, so I think they go a little bit more to the run than they have been recently. But Russell Wilson's been so good that why wouldn't they continue to throw the ball? And I think Kearse is just too cheap for 6,400. So I like those guys. And who do you like at the receiver position?
You know, you mentioned James Jones going against Randall. They can't go against each other. They're teammates, man.
Oh, I've got the wrong team. That's
Yeah,
right.
don't worry about it. Yeah, I just thought I'd
There-
bust your chops a little bit and correct you on that. He'll be
yes,
facing
thank
the Redskins secondary. But
you.
anyway,
Yes.
at the wide receiver position, I like AJ Green. I like McCarron as my quarterback, so he has to throw the football to somebody. He's going to be throwing it to AJ Green. Look at what Green has done against the Pittsburgh Steelers this season alone. Last time they faced, 6 reception, 132 yards, had a TD. Even that was with McCarron being the quarterback the majority of that ball game. So he caught a big touchdown pass in that ball game. And then the first time they played this year, 11 receptions, 118 for a touchdown again. So AJ Green has reduced against his secondary. So I'm gonna spin up at the wide receiver position, go with AJ Green, and spin down at the running back so I can get my Green guy, at the wide receiver position.
So since I'm dyslexic, I want to clarify. I was looking at the Green Bay corners because I was looking at the Washington receivers. Brashad Breeland and Will Blackman are the two top corners, and James Jones is going to see a lot of Quentin Dunbar. It's
Uh,
kind of a similar situation between the corners in terms of their Pro Football Focus grades. So I just had them straight mixed up. But yeah, I mean James Jones and Deshaun Jackson are the two receivers I like who draw kind of the weaker matchups of the week. So I was looking at Jackson because I like him too, and I just mixed them up. But let's
uh,
move on to the tight
let me.
ends, and we're going
I
to
just
get
had to
this.
get you right, man.
Yeah, of course, of course. No, I appreciate you keeping me in line. Let's move on. Tight end. I'm going to stick with those Redskins. There's no getting this one wrong. I don't care who he's matched up with. I don't care if he's matched up against his own linebackers. I like Jordan Reed this week because aside from Antonio Brown, I think Reed is the safest possible bet on the board. I know you like AJ Green, but the whole AJ McCarron thing, scares me a little bit.
Right.
Whereas Jordan Reed basically put up a season comparable to Rob Gronkowski's. I mean, you look at the numbers and they're almost the same, and Reed only managed to play 14 games. So we're talking about a dominant tight end here, and he's worth every bit of the 12,000. We've talked about a lot of cheap options. Well, if you're spending up somewhere, I think Antonio Brown's a good spot, and I think Jordan Reed's the logical other spot. Who do you like at the tight end position?
Hey, man, I love Travis Kelsey, going against the Houston Texans. I know the Houston Texans defense has been on fire as of late. The reason that they were able to win the AFC South has been to play of their defense. But I'm going to go back to week one. And Travis Kelsey absolutely had a ball game against the Houston Texans. 106 yards receiving, 31.6 fantasy points, 2 touchdown receptions. And even if they maybe cut him in half, cut those stats in half, he'll still have a touchdown and about 16 fantasy points. So I like him, especially at the price when you consider what you would have to spend for AJ for Jordan Reed. So you can get him. But I love Jordan Reed in this and his matchup as well. I wouldn't be opposed to playing him. But if you're looking to try to get a little bit of value, I think Travis Kelce would be a great play for you as well.
There you go. Let's move on to the defense. Again, here's a position I'm spending up at because I like saving money some of the other places. I like Kansas City's defense. They were just a force down the stretch. This defense basically consistently gets turnovers. I mean, as much as any other defense, they had at least one in every game since week 4, which is kind of an amazing stretch. They blocked a kick 2 straight weeks. They sacked Derek Carr 6 times last week. They had at least 6 sacks in 2 of their last 3 games, and they now get Brian Hoyer. So this is a defense. They're good. They're playing an offense that their quarterback's okay, but I think they definitely have the advantage. Who do you like this week?
Hey, man, hail to the Redskins. I'm going with the Washington Redskins defense. I love this matchup for the Redskins at home facing the Green Bay Packers and that banged up offensive line. Have you seen the type of hits that Aaron Rodgers have taken lately? He went and got sacked 8 times against the Arizona Cardinals, and I think another 3 or 4 sacks against the Minnesota Vikings, and not to mention the number of hits he's had. The Redskins defense coming in this game playing extremely good football. They lead the National Football League in forced fumbles and fumble recoveries. They get after the quarterback, and they have 2 bookends at the defensive end position or outside linebacker, however you want to look at it. And Preston Smith, the young rookie, and Ryan Kerrigan, those 2 guys really get out the quarterback. And Preston has really turned it on as of late, and he'll be going against the left tackle for the Green Bay Packers. It's really a question mark as who'll be able to play, but I've seen Preston Smith, take it to one of the top linemen in the National Football League and Jason Peters a couple weeks ago. So I love this matchup for the Redskins defense.
There you go. If you learn nothing else from this podcast, it's that we both love the Redskins this defense, or the Redskins this weekend. Their defense, their offense, it doesn't matter. We're pretty on board with them. Let's get to the questions. We only got one from the users this week, but I still got another one for you. But this one comes from @SquirtDiddy, which interesting username in itself. He asks if you can only play one player. I guess he's a different format, so you can only use a player once during the playoffs. So let me ask you
Okay.
this question: who's your must-start player this week if you can only use one?
If I can only use them once this week, man. Um, see, I love Jordan Reed, but I'm gonna need him next week because I think he's gonna win. Uh, it had to be a player off a team that's probably gonna lose, assuming that they don't advance. Oh, this is tough, man.
These formats are tough.
Tough. This, I guess I'll go. If I only could use him once, maybe Kyle Rudolph for the
Okay.
Vikings. Um, I know I didn't mention him as a tight end, but I'll maybe go to Kyle Rudolph for the Vikings because he could possibly catch some passes, maybe catch a touchdown. Seattle struggles against the tight ends, and I wouldn't need him moving forward because I expect the Seahawks to win that ball game. So there
There
you
you
have it.
go. If you don't expect the Steelers to win too, if you like the Bengals this week, I think Antonio Brown is definitely an
Yeah,
option this week too. But I like the Rudolph call because I don't think they're going to win. I think Seattle, even with their defensive quote unquote issues this year, I think they're the better team.
right.
So on to the next question. I have a question for you. Now that you've done the whole football thing and you're watching from the comfort of your home, like the rest of us, is there a place that you like to watch games the most? Maybe you like it at home. Maybe you like Buffalo Wild Wings. Where do you think the best place to watch football games is from your perspective?
From the comfort of my couch, man. Hey,
I
it doesn't
Yep.
get better than that, man. I got this high def television. It doesn't get much better than that.
I agree with you. I think the NFL has a challenge to figure out how ways to get people away from their couch because the whole experience, Red Zone channel, just
Yeah.
about everything at home, not have to be in the cold, is a big advantage. So I am with you. Watch football from your house and enjoy. Until next time, I'm Ricky Sanders with London Fletcher, and we're out.